Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and she, he was who he was from the very moment of conception in her womb. And so this is just ludicrous to say that it's not a real human being in there. There's also the Unborn Victims of Violence Act that was put into place in 2004 that made it a legal crime, punishable by up to the death sentence for killing a baby in a mother's womb. This is a federal law. It's on the books right now. It states that a baby is a human being from the very moment of conception. This is a law on the books in the United States, a federal law right now. That law number is Public Law 108-212. If anybody wants to look it up, and it's Statute 118 568-570. If you people out there don't believe me, try to back everything up here with facts on this show, and so everyone can understand what's going on. Okay, I'd like to end with that, and I know I'm moving from topic to topic here on the show, and I'd just like to say to people out there, because I've heard some comments from some of the listeners from the show, where they said, oh, you went to a different point, you went to a different point, you went to a different point. I am more than happy, if you would like to call in on the show, to go back to a previous point and discuss that with you. So please do not feel that if I'm not at that very moment discussing that point, that you can't call in because I'm now on to something else. You're not going to disturb me or upset me. This show is live. It's being done live, so people can call in and talk to me about these situations, give their opinions. If they disagree with me, if you disagree with me, I would absolutely welcome you coming onto the air and talking with me. Because if you think your side of the argument is so convincing that you want other people to hear it, the station has 4.5 million listeners each month that listen in. I don't know how many are listening on the show right at this very moment, but I guarantee it's a lot of people. And if you'd like to get your message out, I'll give you a little bit of airtime to tell me what you think. The number is 561-623-9429. Again, that number is 561-623-9429. The only thing I ask is that you don't use profane language, if you would, for the listening ears of my show listeners. And also, if you call in near to the end of the show, you might be cut off due to time constraints. So that's just some of the ground rules. The number again is 561-623-9429. Okay, now I'm moving on to the Syrian issue with the gas or the chemical attacks being used in Syria against the people of Syria and in particular children who are being killed due to these attacks. We've seen these on the news. They've been national news. They're on YouTube. If you want to go to YouTube, you can see the videos. I know that on the TV that the videos of the dead children being laid out in the morgue are blurred, and in the video on YouTube, it is not blurred. It is clear, so you can see that, and it's really what they show on the news is nothing compared to the videos on YouTube that are being shown. These are for obviously for adults, mature content. This is stuff that it just is really horrible to view. But the whole issue of Syria, I wanted to discuss a little bit today on the radio. Excuse me, because it is a problem. It's happening right now. And President Obama says he needs to go to Congress for a war declaration with regard to Syria. Syria would not be a war action, first of all, because we wouldn't probably have boots on the ground. It would be a limited strike and it would be in retaliation to the use of these chemical warfare agents against its people. President Obama has already shown his ability to act unilaterally without congressional approval by what he did in, I can't think of that. What was that guy's name? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. But the country we went into and bombed, and then they killed the leader, Muammar Gaddafi. He unilaterally just went in there and started bombing. And the rebels that were in that country took over and then killed the leader. And he never received any type of congressional approval there. Neither did he seek it. And now all of a sudden he's seeking it because he has said he's going to do these things. He's going to take action. He's called Assad a murderer, and he's done all these things. But he seems paralyzed to act in this case, even unilaterally, like he did in this other country. So this is one of the problems that is going on right now, is President Obama is now waiting. It seems to be weeks now for the Congress to reconvene so he can come before Congress and ask them if we can go to war. And Congress, as it looks right now, is absolutely divided on this issue. It's just a really twisted situation over there, and I'll tell you some of the reasons why. I don't know if many of you have heard of Abu Sakar. He's one of the leaders, of the rebel leaders in Syria who's fighting against the Assad regime. So we have Assad using chemical weapons to kill men, women, and children, and without any remorse, denying, saying it's the other side doing it. And that's the question also, is it the other side that launched the Syrian attack that killed all these people just to involve the national, international community in coming in and fighting on their side, which could have really happened. But the fact is, little children and men, women, and little children are being killed by chemical warfare in Syria. That fact remains, but who's doing it is the question. So if we attack Assad, and he's not the one who did it, we're then basically saying to the person or persons who did the actual chemical attack that, hey, we're taking down the leadership, and who's going to fill that leadership vacuum? It may be the people who launched this chemical attack. I know that they say there's convincing evidence that say it was Assad. I don't know what this evidence is because I'm not part of Congress. I'm not on the security briefings that they're receiving, but there's a doubt that remains in my mind. The other thing is this Abu Sakar was seen eating the internal organs of opposition forces after he killed them. This is one of the people that will fill the vacuum left by Assad if and when he is taken out of power. And there is a video called Syrian Rebel Eats the Heart of Syrian Soldier. This is on YouTube. Syrian Rebel Eats the Heart of a Syrian Soldier. And I've watched this video. It is very graphic, and it is something, again, that you do not want to have your children watching or anybody that's sensitive to be watching this. The man kills this man, this Abu Sakar. He walks up to him, takes out his knife, and starts cutting the man's chest open with a knife. Once the man's chest is cut open, he reaches in and grabs the man's heart and part of the man's liver, and then puts it to his mouth and takes a bite out of the man's heart and out of the liver. And then they go on. He gives a bunch of other diatribe where he's telling them that this is what he's going to do to the opposition of his group that is in that area, that he's part of the Syrian conflict. But if this is the type of leader that they want to put into place, I say this isn't a good idea. So if we're taking out one to put in another, one madman to put in another madman, I don't think that's a good idea. So here we go with this situation in Syria that's absolutely a convoluted mess. And I feel for the people whose children and loved ones are being killed. There's many people who fled the country. There's tens of thousands that have been killed since the start of this conflict. It is a civil war inside of this country. Russia has been the voice of reason, which is an amazing thing on this. Russia, Putin's been saying, why should we stop Assad when we've got people like this Abu Bakr? He didn't mention him by name, but we have people that are eating, the organs out of their victims, cannibalism, to show their bravado or their how tough they are. It's just incredulous to put those types of people in power. The only way, I'm a former Marine. I guess I'm still a Marine. Once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps from 80 to 84. And when we were in there, when I was in the Marine Corps, we were taught there was really only one way to win a war. And that's the way we won the wars in World War II. We totally destroyed the enemy, and we gave them no right to any choice or any say in the truce agreements once that was, once the war was concluded. We brought the people in Japan onto the ship, the Missouri there, and had them sign an absolute unconditional surrender. With Germany, it was a little harder because there wasn't many of the people who were in charge of the war around, and we made certain statements and set some lines down, of course, and Russia kicked in, the USSR kicked in and wanted to take the place of Germany and take over as many places as they could, and Germany was divided in half, and we had the Berlin Wall, and many people remember that from history. And how many people out there remember the falling of the Berlin Wall? That was a great event, and that was during President Reagan's time in office. It was a pretty amazing thing to witness, but I digress. But the only way to win a war, from my military days, was to absolutely go in and basically dismantle the country and everything in it, and then set up some sort of government similar to what we've done in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and just absolutely, defeat the people and then set up some type of leadership. And with the Syrian conflict, we now have the ability, what we've been doing in Pakistan, and one of the things I'd like to point out here is Pakistan is a nuclear country. They have the bomb. And with them having that bomb, we were not afraid to launch drone strikes and even military movements. When we took out Saddam Hussein in Pakistan, we overflew them and took out a lot of their leadership of the Taliban, and it just, it worked really well, and we didn't have to have boots on the ground. We just had these drones fly in, or in one case we did have boots on the ground where we sent in the SEAL Team 6 to take out Osama bin Laden. But with that technology that we possess, we can go into Syria, and I recommend, this is the way it be done, is tell everyone to put down their arms, period. If they do not, we destroy those arms and the users of those arms. We have all sorts of satellite, night vision, all these drones. We have helicopters that can fly and fight at night.